Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon Perna, and I am so glad I do not have to root for Josh McDaniels to succeed with Andrew Luck in Indianapolis, and that I can fill my heart with contempt and hate for that scumbag, the way Jesus taught us. I thought he would have thrived with a talented quarterback like Andrew Luck. Now I hope he committed career suicide and we watch him downward spiral as time finally catches up to Tom Brady and turns him into the withering troll we all know he is inside. If you want to see me verbally kick McDouchey in the metaphorical balls over and over again, this is the episode for you. Let's explore the dark soul that is Josh McDaniels. That's Good Sports. I do have big dick Patreon shout outs for Travis Wolf, Philosophy Joker, Matt Powers, Hayes, Barcy Godwin, Mark Seidel, and a $5 donation from Josh McDaniels. Sorry, Josh, your money can't stop me from exposing you to the world. Patrick Thorpe, Noel Murphy, and Tyler Bildo. Bildu? Thank you guys, and please consider keeping this channel alive with the monthly donation. There's a link in the description, patreon.com/thatsgoodsports. It's how I survive. By now, everyone knows Josh McDaniels accomplished a new low by backing out of an agreement with the Colts to be their new head coach. An agreement that ran so deep that he already had his assistant coaches hired and moved to Indianapolis all before he decided to royally fuck over everyone involved in the Colts organization. The selfishness of this move is beyond comprehensible. Imagine bringing 3 of your most trusted assistants, probably friends, into a new job, having them sign their contracts, move their families to a new state, only to renege on the deal and say, sorry bitches, enjoy Indy, I'm staying in Boston. Actually, it's worse than that because McFuckface couldn't even call his assistants to let him know he wasn't taking the job. What a fucking coward. Don't forget, McDillhole's first head coaching attempt in Denver was a disaster. He listened to nobody, pissed off every player on the team, and got rid of arguably the Broncos' 3 best offensive players at the time, and Jay Cutler, Brandon Marshall, and Tony Scheffler. He was fired after a year and a half on a 4-year contract. It was so embarrassing to him that ESPN reported he keeps an Excel spreadsheet titled Lessons Learned. In fairness to Josh, though, none of the lessons on that spreadsheet included don't fuck over another football organization for selfish reasons, and don't trick your friends into accepting a job that you're going to back out of. Some of the things on his lessons learned list do include, if you're going to trade away a young QB with lots of talent, don't do it to acquire Kyle Orton. Lesson learned, Bill Belichick does not like cream in his coffee. Lesson learned, Tom Brady and his trainer Alex Guerrero are just friends. There's definitely nothing weird happening between those two behind closed doors. Lesson learned, let the ending of season 1 of Game of Thrones serve as a reminder. Betrayal ultimately leads to success. Lesson learned. Josh supposedly got a big fat raise to stay in New England, but his agent, Bob Lamont, or Lamonti, I didn't look it up, still dropped his ass. That means his professional sports agent, one of the most greedy groups of professionals on earth, fired his client even though it cost him a significant amount of money to do so. That's how you know you're the equivalent of a giant turd living inside of a serial killer's ass cavity. In regard to the severing of his relationship with McDoofus, Lamont said, "My word is my bond. Once you break that, there's nothing left." He sounds dignified. What makes me so sick to my stomach, is that I was actually going to give McDevil the benefit of the doubt that he was going to do a good job in Indianapolis before he pulled out faster than my favorite type of birth control in college. Which might surprise you, wasn't actually the pull-out method. It was the sit in the corner of a dark room and cry because no girl would talk to me method. It worked every time, but somehow I still got herpes. Whenever a douchebag of McDaniels' magnitude affects life, I wonder how much better things would be if he didn't exist at all. So here are 4 ways the NFL would be better if Josh McDaniels would have continued to pursue his dream of hand-measuring penis girth instead of becoming a football coach. The number 4 way the NFL would be better without McDumbass. It would have 0 coaches who thought Tim Tebow could play quarterback in the NFL.
I traded up to draft you, Tim, and I know I can fix your inability to throw the football. You see what the back of my hand says here, Tim? It says I was not wrong about you. And we're gonna show the world.
The number 3 way the NFL would be better without Josh McDonobody-like-you. Other coaches wouldn't be forced to try and outduel Josh in his infamous staring contests. You would think that games like staring contests would be fun and harmless for those coaches and players involved in the activity. But when you factor in McDaniels, there's nothing harmless about anything. Do you notice that during these staring contests, McDaniels' hands are out of sight? Let's just say McGrabby isn't afraid to go below the belt to get you to break in his staring contests. The number 2 way the NFL would be better without McDank. The work environment would smell a hell of a lot better because Josh wouldn't be around to force other players to pull his finger as he unleashed the most unforgiving and nasty fragrant known to man. I mean, Tom Brady seems to like the smell, but can we really trust a guy who eats fermented peacock shit dipped in kale and crushed hemp seeds as a daily meal? No, we can't. In fact, the reason Jimmy Garoppolo was traded had nothing to do with Tom Brady and his weird diet. It was McDaniels who hated Jimmy G because Garoppolo never once fell for Josh's, hey, pull my finger prank. The number 1 way the NFL would be better without McDingleberry. Sexual harassment in the NFL workplace would decrease by 90%. In the wake of all the sexual harassment scandals coming out of Hollywood and Washington and the NFL Network, it is no surprise that Josh McPredator is pretty much a harassment trendsetter. Don't believe me? Here are several examples of him getting caught with his hands in the cookie jar. Here's Josh making his team watch him poop and masturbate at the same time. Josh making reporters stare at his tits. Josh performing some self-butt play during the national anthem. Side note, national TV crews missed this because they were too focused on players kneeling. Josh giving detailed instruction on how to properly grab a teammate's buttocks and help him onto the team bus. Here he is bringing some S&M fetish shit to work and giving a 3-hour demo on how to properly spank your teammate without leaving a bruise. And worst of all, this is his reaction after he fucks your organization. Basically, McDaniels' NFL resume includes working for a team I despise, being the head coach of a football team I love, and almost burning it to the ground and fucking over the Colts franchise, who outside of Jim Irsay and maybe murdering Marvin Harrison seems like a pretty likable group of guys. Very likable. Sure, Josh might have helped win some Super Bowls here and there, but at the end of the day, the guy is the biggest chud baby on earth. Putting contempt aside, the real reason Josh may have declined the job in Indianapolis is due to the fact that he has never succeeded outside of the Patriots organization. We know how royally he messed up in Denver, but he also was the offensive coordinator in St. Louis in 2011. In his one season with the Rams, he won 2 games, and his offense was ranked dead fucking last in scoring with 12.1 points per game, which means he was worse than Vance Joseph and Mike McCoy / Bill Musgrave this last season. Josh had 3 quarterbacks that season, just like the Broncos in 2017, and he still averaged 6 fewer points per game. He is nothing without Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, and he knows it. Sorry, Josh, the truth hurts, and you suck. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Make sure you subscribe here on YouTube. Please subscribe, and then if you like the videos, like them. Physically like the fucking video. And if you want to find out why you should vote for me in the most important tournament on earth, click the Nikki Javala versus Brandon Perna defending world champion video above.